Ladies and geeks, welcome back to Geek Mind Media, the channel that brings you all the pop culture headlines nobody asked for. Well, Hollywood may have discovered that social activism and entertainment don't mix, but apparently Wizards of the Coast just can't seem to read the room. The gaming corporation has recently found themselves taking some well-deserved flack and losing their parent company Hasbro some hard-earned stock pricing after releasing a controversial Instagram post back in June that, quite frankly, is a symptom of a larger problem that is negatively affecting the world of Dungeons & Dragons. D&D Wizards' post includes the caption, "Gaming is for everyone," and is clearly geared towards a certain demographic. It's clearly pushing a message and an agenda, and quite honestly, I've seen fewer rainbows in a Skittles commercial. Looks like you got two male characters that are clearly more than friends, and looks like I spy a small dragon creature shaking maracas with the trans flag symbol on them. So, the agenda is reading loud and clear. But to understand just how serious Wizards and D&D's problem has become, we have to take a little trip back in time. Dungeons & Dragons began its illustrious nerd-baiting legacy in the basement of Gary Gygax. Along with his associate Dave Arneson, good old Gary gave the world a game that encouraged social skills in a certain community that really didn't have any, while utilizing logic and basic mathematics to navigate fantasy adventures fueled by imagination. It would also find itself at the center of the infamous Satanic Panic of the 1980s, but hey, that's a video for another time. At its heart, Dungeons & Dragons, or D&D as it's affectionately referred to by us nerds, utilize classic fantasy tropes, mythology, and good old-fashioned storytelling to present role-playing that brought like-minded adventure seekers together for game nights fueled by imagination and junk food. For decades, D&D was the domain of geeks and nerds longing to escape their everyday, real-world problems, for realms where they could play the hero, crawl through dungeons, slay the monster, and rescue the fair maiden, or the hapless prince.
Nerd alert!
Dungeons & Dragons was a cultural icon that, for many, was the unsullied bastion of geek greatness. As it grew in popularity, D&D found itself becoming more mainstream as YouTubers and podcasters like Critical Role and Dimension 20 made it cool to be a nerd. Wizards of the Coast's quest to alter lore and modernize the game by altering racially insensitive descriptions of inherently evil fantasy races like orcs and drow is particularly baffling, mainly because, they don't actually exist. At least I haven't heard any pushback from my local orc community, and I haven't seen any drow trying to steal my catalytic converter, so I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear. Adding insult to injury, Wizards even changed the term race to species in the newer rulebooks, as if maybe somehow the fantasy races might get offended and boycott the game.
It's so dumb.
But Wizards has taken this insanity even further by injecting real-world social issues like same-sex relationships and gender ideology into a world of fantasy that has no place for modern agendas or ideology. It's pointless to worry about offending a race that doesn't exist, and it's even more absurd to modernize a game set in an ancient fantasy world. It's just one more example of woke activism sticking its ugly nose where it doesn't belong. As for Wizards' claim that gaming is for everyone, well, that's no revelation. Gaming has always been for everyone. And what's made this particular game so appealing is that D&D allowed for everyone to escape the real world and unite for a common cause, regardless of their gender, religion, or creed. Dungeons & Dragons has been and always will be a celebration of storytelling and fantasy. It's a world that unites people through imagination and adventure, not identity politics and mind-numbing woke bullshit. Once again, activists masquerading as nerds and geeks have hijacked nerd culture and warped it into something ridiculously unnecessary. We don't need modern-day real-world propaganda spoiling a good time. We want our fantasy, and we want to be able to create immersive and captivating characters without having to check a box. I can confidently say that Wizards of the Coast rolled a critical failure with this post. Let me know what your thoughts are, if you agree, or if you think I'm crazier than a drunk wizard. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications so you know when another video drops, just like this one. And until the next video, my fellow geeks, y'all keep it nerdy. Take care.